Welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd this time tell a story of kind of like the messes and fun we would have at the clubs. Um, as I mentioned in the past, I hung out with a very large group, a very large group of friends. We were all very close, um, and every time we went out, we would all go out together. Uh, Doing so, we actually we were actually hmm we got to know a lot of people. We got to know a lot of people, and a lot of the clubs back then, oh, they were so much fun. There was a lot of dancing, and just the clubs were just big. Clubs like Arena and Circus and Escandalo, and of course you had Rage, Mickey's, and all of the other ones in West Hollywood. um, Escandalo was in West Hollywood, and it was on, if I remember correctly, Robertson. It is now, well, the last, that club has changed names so many times that the last time that I remember the name of it, it might have been called the Factory at the time. But back then it was Escandalo. Um, and you would go up some, you would, you know, go in through the level ground, and then you would go up the stairs, and the club was up in the second story of this factory. And then you had like the dance floor when you would walk in, um, and to, well, when you go up the stairs to the left, it was a basically the dressing room and everything else for the club and the drag queens. And then to the right, you there were some doors, and that's where the dance floor was, with a big stage and a bunch of little go-go boxes. And then there was a bar in the back. Now the club, it was actually two in a way, because then there was a door, a small hallway, and then there was another double doors, and there was another room in the back, pretty fair sized room. Most of the time it was closed, because that room you could go in through the other side of the club. It is now something else. So I know for a fact that it is something else, and they've redone it. It's amazing now. But to get in through that club, it was a long, straight metal staircase that went up to it, and it's diagonally across the street from the Abbeys now. And that club, as much fun as it was, that was the one club I ended up in one of the biggest brawls ever. Now, with my group of friends, it was just a mixed crowd of everything and everyone. And one of my friends, she had long hair, like down to her ass, and it was dyed blonde, and it was extremely healthy. And a lot of people hated her for it, which we never understood the why. And others were very much um, mean, just mean over nothing, over hair. We were like, wow. And it got to the point where we were walking through the club, because, a club, you go with your friends, go and dance, go to the restroom, and then do your rounds. It's a routine, it seems. But yeah, one of these queens, jealous of her hair. Oh, it started over a go-go box. That's how this thing started. It started over a go-go box where some friends wanted to dance on the go-go box. They wanted to dance on the go-go box. They kept on pushing each other off the go-go box while they were up there. It was petty gay drama. And that ended up leading into, when I was walking with my friends, one of these queens grabbed her hair and basically said, "Why don't you just take off the wig, bitch?" And try to yank what they thought was a wig off her head. And it just like, it arched her back. They pulled so hard. And that's when I lost it. I'm like, oh, hell no. and we went at it. We went at it to the point that it became a huge brawl. I got kicked in the forehead by a steel toe boot. It was one of those fights that you're just like, wow. But security, because they knew us already, they just pulled my group of friends, kept on pulling one by one and taking us to the back to the dressing room area, and they just told us just to sit there, and the other group got kicked out. It was intense. I think I have a picture for my 22nd birthday. Some friends had baked me a cake, and I have a picture of me wearing my overalls and my getting drunk shirt, which was a shirt I had from when I was in Campfire when I was little, and it had my name. And that's the one that I would wear when I knew I was going to get drunk. Because when somebody asked me for my name, it was just point at my arm because my name was there. I was one prepared, and yeah, I have that picture where you can actually see where it's healing, like where the steel toe boot kicked my forehead. But I don't remember getting hit at all. That's the problem. When I get really angry, I see red, and I don't remember anything. So that's why I avoid getting angry at all costs now. I can put up with so much more now. Like a lot of people are like, why? And I'm like, I have my reasons, but yeah. Another club was Arena. Arena was well known. It had been around since the 70s, I believe, because I have uncles that used to party there when they were young. I started going there when I was, I think, probably 16 when I first snuck in there. And yeah, it was in an old factory, an ice factory. It had been cleaned out. You would walk in through the front, and there was a huge dance floor, just huge dance floor. And right as you walk in to the left, there was the ramp that would go up to the second floor, and then there was another set of steps when you first walked in that would go up to the second floor as well. Then there was the big bar that was right at the entrance. Basically, when you walk in, you saw a big wall. On the other side of that wall, there was the bar. And you just went around it to get to the dance floor. And then there was a smaller bar to the right with like a long wall of like this kind of like diner, long stretch benches. Um, and in the back, there was this, on the right hand side, there was the spiral staircase that went up, the spiral staircase from hell. I don't know why they had that there at a club. Now when there's a bunch of drunk queens everywhere. Oh, and then there was another bar, and then behind the bar there were some tables. Um, the upstairs, it was sort of like, go up the ramp, and then it was sort of like an L shape that went basically gave you sort of like a balcony view of the whole dance floor. And then there was the patio outside. Um, and then they remodeled it a lot of times too, and they made it incredible where they ended up making a VIP room that was freaking awesome. And then they turned it into a restaurant. So basically you could go there, which was a good idea, because most of us ended up like usually going to eat before we went to the clubs. But once Arena changed everything around, everything was in there. And right behind Arena was Circus Disco. That was another great club. And they were both owned by the same person, Gene. He was incredible. He was like the sweetest man ever. And that club, you would walk in, it was just a huge patio. It was just a huge patio, and the club was on the right hand side. It was basically 1, 2, 3 dance floors. The smaller one was the first one, and in the patio there was a huge pond with like water fountain. It was amazing. and then you would go upstairs to the second dance floor, and then the main one was in the back. The main one was huge. So there's actually a video. Somebody was trying to do a documentary on Arena, and there's quite a few videos on Arena in the 90s. There's this one clip there where you blink, you miss, but you can see like my group of friends and I. Um, but if you don't know what you're looking for, you will never find anybody. It's like worse than Where's Waldo. But yeah, that's the club where, because again, the ramp was from the one end of the building to the other, and it had a grade that would, obviously take the whole length to make it to the second floor. And because everybody kept on spilling their drinks, I remember just slipping while I was at the top, landed on my ass, and slid all the way down, taking everybody down with me that was there in my way, and just crashing up against the wall. I just remember it was the funniest thing ever. But at that club, oh my God, that club, that damn staircase, the spiral staircase, like I said, that was a spiral staircase from hell, especially if you were drunk. Because if you're drunk, you're gone. One small step and you just slam like bah, 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 all the way down as you're circling the whole freaking staircase all the way down. It was oh, I hated that staircase. And you knew that if you're going down those staircases, we were like hanging on for dear life to the freaking handrail because we already knew. And if somebody fell, the same thing that happened on the ramp with me would happen. It was like playing bowling with people. That's in Arena is the place where I actually saw Raja, the drag queen Raja, winner of season 3. But well, y'all know who I'm talking about. But yeah, that's where I actually saw her before she was Raja perform this incredible number of Madonna's Like a Virgin, but from her Blonde Exhibition tour. She actually had like a mock bed covered in everything, and the dancers and the comb bra. It was amazing. Those were the good old days. I miss the clubs in LA back then because they were a lot more fun. There wasn't so much pretentiousness around, and yeah, there were a lot of feuds between the queens because even within my group of friends, there was a huge fight. I actually never knew what the fight was about. Never found out about it. But two friends ended up going at it, and then the group just ended up picking sides. I was the one that was just like, y'all fight amongst yourselves. I'm not going to pick sides. Eventually, I ended up having to because I got dragged into it over a fight after a night at, I think it might have been a night at Circus, where we ended up going to, there used to be a Del Taco in the corner of Santa Monica and Highland. And my friend Mario Poppins, if you remember that one from that one, he was in the fight with my other friend, and they were gonna go at it. And I'm just like, I really don't like when friends go like physically fight each other. Again, because I have my own temper, so I'm just like, no. Like I said, I try to avoid all of that. So what I did was, our other group of friends were holding on to my other friend while I'm helping my friend Mario Poppins, and he was just bouncing around like a boxer would do. And all I kept on doing was just, he would come this way, I would just step in front of him. He would come this way, I would just step in front of him. And I got to the point where he got fed up. And he grabbed my shirt and he said I guess he thought he was going to lift me up and move me to the side. I just see him grab my shirt and I'm just like, no, you're not. Really? No. And I see him just pull with all his might. Just, all he did was rip my shirt. All I remember looking down is going, no. that snapped him out of it. And he's just holding on to my shirt and he's just like, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. And I'm just like, just let it go. It's a shirt. You're out of it. Let's get in the car and let's go home. That's all I want. Let's just get in the car and let's go home. Yeah, ripping my shirt scared him more than anything. I don't know what he thought I was going to do. But it snapped him out of his anger. And, well, it snapped everybody out of their anger, actually. Because everyone was just like, oh, ooh, shit. So, yeah, we ended up going home. But, yeah, we had a lot of fun at the clubs. Even at the clubs that I don't like going. There's a club, again, it's near that area of Western and Santa Monica. I hated that club with a passion because it was a 2-story club. My friends would like to go there. One in particular because they do have awesome tacos there. Oh man, they have awesome tacos there. And but the first floor was a dance floor that dealt with basically Mexican ranchera style thing music. I'm not really into that. So I hated going there because to get up to the second floor, which is where they play the Spanish rock, the good music, you had to pick a number because it was limited the space upstairs. So you had to pick a number, and your number had to be called. And if your number was called, then you can go upstairs. But you couldn't come back down again. I didn't care. I don't like being down there anyway. So I'm like, it's all yours. But I hated there because when we would go down, we would have to wait downstairs for a while. I was basically kind of forced to dance quebraditas. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but let's just say it's not my cup of tea. So, like if a guy would come and ask me to dance with him, I'd be like, no, 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 no. And I stopped even looking back at my friends because every time, even without looking at them, all they would do is come behind me and push me forward, and they're like, go dance, enjoy. I'm like, no. And there I would go. But yeah. And a lot of these clubs obviously had a lot of theme nights. Like later in the years prior to them closing Arena and Circus, and now it's torn down. There's nothing there. But they had theme nights like the Batcave, and which was a goth night, and oh, I forgot their industrial night name. But yeah, I still have a bunch of pictures of those nights. It was just a blast. And again, there were no pretenses. There was no, I mean, there were attitudes. Obviously, there were a lot of attitudes, but not like it is now. Now you come across a lot of clones and plastic people. It's sort of like, so yeah. The club life back in the day was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and if I find all the pictures, I'll post them at the end, so you can get a glimpse of what life was like back then. All right, thanks for coming. Have a good one. Bye.